Welcome to Sports episode 13. Lucky 13. We're excited about that. So we got a lot to with our leadoff story. Jaylen Brown is going to miss the rest of the season. How great of an impact will this be for the team in the?
Well, I mean, it pretty much ends everything. You know, we did a lot of hyping up Brooklyn, and like they were going to win and roll over, but then injuries happen. But this is the same thing with the Celtics, but only in reverse. You'll lose Jaylen Brown, and all hope is gone because I don't think this team can, be successful without him there.
Yeah. So obviously 24.7 points a game, 6 rebounds, 1.2 steals. He's shooting almost 40% from three, so 39, over 39%. 35 and 35, 7th in the East right now. They're 3-7 in the last 10 games, so they're on the downslide. They're in the playoff game. They'll guarantee now at this point. I don't know if they were going to get past this playoff round, play-in round with Jaylen. I think this pretty much seals the.
Yeah, no, it's pretty much. I mean, you need this guy in your lineup. You cannot, especially if they have to do the play-ins. So there's a very good chance that they lose that play-in. And if they don't lose the first one, they could lose the second one. So, I mean, and then that gives you the right to play who? The number 1 seed, right?
Yeah.
So they can't overcome this. There's no way. This team has proven that all year long.
Yeah. So again, they've been a 500 team. Their record shows it. Even if they got by those first two in the first round. We did a Facebook poll of which organization had a more disappointing season, and 57% of the fans said that the Boston Celtics over the Lakers had a more disappointing season. Get out of the play-in game with a couple win and a little bit of help. So they're still sitting in 7, but they can move up to 6. So
see, like there's a difference between the two teams. Like you got I wanted to say, like, the Lakers have AD, and you have faith that he can just put the team on his back and carry them through until LeBron gets back, right? But you don't have that sense with Tatum.
Yeah. Tatum's had some really good games, and then there's been time to kind of question his leadership in he can do with the Boston Celtics. What about the NBA scoring? Steph Curry and Bradley Beal are battling. There's only a couple of games left. Curry's currently sitting at 31.8 and Beal at 31. I think Beal is going to miss another game out with an injury. 71% of our poll basically said that Steph Curry's going to win it.
Yeah, I'm one of those people.
Overall, I mean, they're both like. I'm impressed with what both of these players have done for their organizations, though, to keep them in the playoffs. I mean, Golden State West, which when we really looked at it, we didn't even think they'd make the playoffs. And then the fact that the Wizards got in, with even at the 10th of the year, I mean, it's pretty impressive.
And I hope they both win their first game.
They very well could. I mean, it's going to be. They could be facing each other at some point. I mean, realistically, I don't know. I mean, they get hot.
Yeah, like Steph Curry, like they gotta win their game. They have to win their game. So, you don't think he's going to drop 30 on, the final game of the season to get in there? I mean, you kind of figure that he's going to because, he wants to be in the playoffs and he wants to be as high as he can in that. And I don't think that anybody's going to be able to stop him from dropping 30 in that final game.
Impressive. Russell Westbrook got his 182nd triple-double, passing Oscar Robinson, which was set in 1974.
Yeah,
so if you think about it, he's averaging 22 points, over 11. The man just keeps between him and Beal. I mean, that's a pretty two-man punch.
Like he's an amazing player. Like, a lot is said about, like LeBron and Steph Curry, and all these other stars that are in the league, but wouldn't you just want to have Westbrook on your team? Like, I mean, really, like.
The only knock is that obviously he hasn't won a championship. Some of the players he's been surrounded with, had KD back in Oklahoma City. He was with Harden in Houston, and then you get it done with him. I mean, Bradley Beal, again, another quality player. And, that attempts, they can't do something, but, I mean, it's not at this point.
Well, like they've come on strong late, and I think it might be the fact that Westbrook is learning how to play with others and kind of share the ball better than when it was, especially with Harden. Like you put him with Harden, I mean, like who wants the ball more,
Yeah.
And I think maybe he finally matured, and stranger things have happened. Why not Washington? Really?
Why they play the games. This is why they play the games. Dan, want to thank you for chiming in. Appreciate it. Move on to some NFL. Big news that Tim Tebow is signing a 1-year deal with the Jacksonville Jaguars to play tight end. The team.
No, it's not. Get a tight end. Get a real tight end. This just invites idiot plays. That's what this does. It's going to stunt the growth of Lawrence, if anything. Like, I cannot believe they're doing this for trickery. Trickery, that's all it's for. Because you need to get a tight end. Get a tight end that knows what he's doing. Like, this is bad. It has bad written all over it.
So, how about in the NFL, right? Hasn't played since 2012. 2 years with Denver, 1 year with the Jets. He was 8-6 receptions in his pro or college career. So I went back and looked at colleges, and maybe he's caught a couple passes to get. We're expecting a guy that's been out of the league as long as he has to come in and be an impact player.
Yeah, that's what they're expecting. But hoping is to do some trick plays and have Tebow throw the ball down the field. That's what this is all about. It isn't about him playing tight end. It has nothing to do with that. It has, maybe we could have, some great plays and have Tim Tebow throw the ball. No. If that was the case, he'd be a quarterback still. It's just
Urban Meyer is definitely utilizing his feelings towards the player and not looking at what's best for the team. I'm a little surprised, but I really think that Jacksonville is making a huge mistake doing this.
Yeah, they definitely are.
Definitely. And if you think about how I went to camp and think, okay, well, this was his quarterback in college. This is a guy he's bringing back. Confidence does that give Trevor Lawrence, in this offense?
I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking in doing this. Like it was just a dumb move, and it's going to cost them. You mark my words. Especially if they do one of those trick plays and Tim Tebow throws an interception, a pick six or something. That could happen. That could happen.
Dan seems to agree with you. Dan seems to think that the only a trick play would be Tebow catching.
That's great, Dan. That's really funny. But you're absolutely right.
Um, what about it was just released this week? If you didn't get to see, check out Sports Flash where we broke down the NFL season schedule. How do you think they're going to finish this season?
Second.
Record?
Like, I still think Buffalo is the front runner until I see what they've got.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I can see the Patriots winning because, they did go on that shopping spree and they did pick up a lot of quality players, especially on defense. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if they finished first. It would not surprise me. But the brain is telling me, calm down, calm down. Let's see how their offense works, because the offense, although they did make a lot of improvements, they are really a bunch of players that are expected to hit their prime. And because they're all in that 4 or 5 years in the league that they picked up for the receivers and stuff, and they're expected to do certain things. If they don't do it, they're not gonna do much. So, it's all expectations. But with Belichick there, I mean, who knows? I mean, I wouldn't bet against Bill.
Here's my breakdown.
I would not bet against him.
Here's my breakdown. I got him going 12. I got him going 12-5.
Very well could be, yeah.
They're going to win the first 3 games. They're facing the Dolphins, Jets, and Saints. And we already said we don't know what the Saints are going to be, and I think they could beat Jameis Winston. We lose to Tampa Bay. We'll just say Tom's going to be motivated. I feel like they win that game. Tampa wins that game. They're going to win the next 5. The next 5 are Houston. Next 5 is Houston, Dallas, the Jets, the Chargers, and the Panthers. He should win those 5 games. Maybe they have overall. They lose to Cleveland next week. They beat Atlanta. Lose to Tennessee and at Buffalo. Buffalo and Jacksonville. They lose to Miami last game of the season. 12-5. Probably the 1 seed in the AFC East.
That's interesting.
That
is very conceivable, actually. I can see that happening. But
with Buffalo,
it's just a matter of how the quarterback position is going to be dealt with. So
Dan says 10-6 and doesn't realize
on 12.
17 games, Dan.
Yeah, I know. I got it.
No, Dan chimed in at 10-6.
Yeah, Dan. 1 more game there. Don't forget that Miami game. No, I mean, it's very conceivable that could happen. But I think they're going to have – I'm not sure that they're going to win their first 3 games.
So out of those,
Patriots really are slow
the
starters.
Dolphins, the Jets. All right, Dolphins, Jets, Saints. Which one did they?
I hate to say it, but I think they might
say.
lose the first game of the season.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I think the Dolphins are the slow starting team. Last year,
it isn't because the Dolphins, are better. It's because the Patriots are notorious for a slow start. They get better as the year goes on.
So we did a Twitter poll, and 33% say Buffalo or the New York Jets will win the division. 5%. I think I need some Twitter voters out there. We need some people to get on Twitter and vote.
Somebody say the Jets?
The Jets are they're in the division.
Oh my God! What are people smoking out there? Like, really, come on. If you think the Jets are going to win the division, you're out of your mind.
We need some
Out
people
of your
to chime
mind.
in.
You're out of your
Vote.
mind.
Get out there and vote on Twitter at Sports Unfolded.
It's ridiculous. You should be embarrassed if you pick the Jets to win the division. I mean, come on. Freaking Wilson.
So we'll see if my predictions come true. 12 and NHL, it's playoff. Got to be exciting.
Playoff time. This
We're
is really exciting.
So
playoffs.
So as we break this down, we'll discuss each. So basically, it's by division for the first round. And the East, it's Pittsburgh versus the Islanders. Who do you got?
It's got to be Pittsburgh. Like, they've owned the New York Islanders all year long. I don't see that changing. God, I
Pittsburgh
think
6-2 this year.
I think the Islanders are clearly the weaker team in this division in the playoffs.
Of the 4 teams, yeah, they had the worst record.
Yeah.
I know this is going to be a personal one. Washington versus the Bruins.
Well, I can't go against Boston, so I'm just going to say that. But I do have to say I have material, to argue that point. First of all, let's look at that final game of the season where it was the Providence Bruins playing Washington Capitals. They lost in the final 1.8 seconds left. It hit the back of Swayman's head and went into the net. That was everybody playing for Washington except for Oshie, and nobody playing for the Bruins. Like, it was only DeBrusque, Richie, I can't even think of who else, and Wagner. Those were the 3 players that, are due to be on the team come Saturday night. And they literally had no one playing defense that was supposed to be there. It was literally Providence Bruins versus Washington, and they played so well. I was impressed. So, so look for the Bruins to win that in 6 games.
I got Washington winning it. I just think that they're with Ovechkin, they've got the best player on it. I mean, Bruins have some good players. I don't know. They split the season series 4-4.
Yes, but with those 2 lines clicking like that, I don't think there's any way that Washington's going to stop them. There's no way.
Central Division, Carolina versus Nashville.
Oh, Carolina all the way. I'm actually surprised Nashville made the playoffs, to be honest with you. Carolina's been tough all year long, at least in that division. They have some players on that team that just don't stop and they don't give up. Like Carolina's impressive. I got to say, that is probably my surprise team for the year. I just thought they played so well all year long, and that's where Coach of the Year should come out of, to be honest with you. That's where it should come.
They went 6-2 against Nashville. They've been pretty solid all year, so I think that's going to be a pretty
it's going to be overwhelming. It could be a sweep.
Dan thinks Nashville. Making a picks too. Okay. So Florida versus Tampa.
I do like Florida. I don't know. Look, on paper, Tampa Bay is a better team. Like, on paper, they're absolutely better. But this Florida team, I don't know. This team actually would scare me to play them, because they have so many different dimensions of their team, And I think goaltending might be a big factor in this. And I think it's going to be Florida winning this series.
So
I'm going to
I
pick the
picked
underdog.
Tampa. I picked Tampa. I just think Tampa, with the experience, winning it last year. Again, they're not a. It's not like they're a bad team. They're 5-3 in the regular season, but I still think that Tampa Bay is still with the experience. Just you can't beat that factor. What about in the North? We got Toronto versus Montreal.
Oh my God! Like, if this was normal divisions, Montreal would not even make the playoffs. They wouldn't. They would not make the playoffs. Like the North. Look, there's really only 3 good teams in the North. There's only 3. So Montreal is there because they were the team that happened to be ahead of the rest of the crap. And to be honest, Calgary was so underachieving this year. They should be embarrassed because they let Montreal beat them out. Like, seriously, Montreal should not be there. So Toronto in a sweep, it's not even going to be close. I would say that the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to outscore Montreal by at least 12 goals in the series. And if it's only going to be 4 games, what does that tell you?
Yeah, and I think Toronto, again, we about it. They have probably the best player in the NHL, or one of the top players in the NHL. And I mean, they've proven it. They went 7-3.
It's not
7-3. Yes. Yeah, we already had that one. We went through that. Yes.
He's not even top 5 right now in this league.
So if you're looking at it from that standpoint, I mean, it's pretty much, I think, an easy one there. What about Edmonton versus Winnipeg?
This is a series I'd to watch. And I'll probably watch at least a game or 2 of this one. I mean, look, you get Connor McDavid. I mean, the guy had 100 points this season. Like, it's only 50 something games. I mean, it's just insane. This guy is so good. Sydney wishes he was this good. Like, this guy is just a beast, and I ultimately think Edmonton will win the series. Could be 5 games, but we'll say 6 just to give Winnipeg the benefit of the doubt. But there's a lot of firepower on that line.
Yeah. Edmonton, so they've won 6 straight against Winnipeg now. So I think
yeah, it's not.
They figured them out
good,
and they should be able to. They should be able to steamroll through that. All right. What about in the West? Colorado versus St. Louis, and the Avalanche won the President's Trophy.
This is another great series. You know, St. Louis has been coming on of late, getting their playoff game going well. But Colorado, I have going to the the Stanley Cup. So I got to go with Colorado. I got to go with Colorado in 7. Like, this is not going to be an easy series.
So what about Vegas versus Minnesota?
Who's Vegas playing?
Minnesota.
Yes, that's my point.
Hey, come on.
No, this is the Golden Knights. This could be another one of those games. Yeah, you're done. They're just way better in every area of the game. Whether it's obviously goaltending, which generally does win series, and like Minnesota just does not have the horses. Golden Knight is loaded up front. They're loaded on D. They got the best goaltending tandem. It doesn't matter who they start. I mean, it's such a well-designed team. You got to give credit to the organization for doing this. I mean, this is amazing.
This is my upset alert. I'm going Wild actually had a better record against them. They were 4-3 against Vegas this season. So they can't how to beat them. 7 games, 4-3 wins them the series. Upset alert.
Goaltending.
I'm just
Not
saying.
happening.
Let's see.
Yeah.
So interesting stat was that 28% of the time when a team wins the President's Trophy, they win the cup. 17% of the time, though, they lose in the first ring on the 28%. You think they get that?
What, that Golden Knights?
No, the Avalanche.
Oh, the Avs? Yes. I think they do go to the cup. Yes. I think they're the better team.
Very true. Very true. If you are joining us, we are on Rhode Island Broadcasting. We're on every Friday night at 6 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Follow us on social media at Sports Unfolded on Facebook and Twitter, at Broadcasting RI on Twitter, Instagram, Sports_Unfolded, and now on podcasts with Spotify and Anchor. So we're excited about, being able to provide you another video outlet to listen to Sports Unfolded. So check us out on those. Check out us on platforms.
Follow us.
Let's talk. Definitely. Let's Major League Baseball. And should Major League Baseball revisit their COVID-19 calls after 8 Yankees tested positive? San Diego Padres have tested positive.
I mean, when is baseball going to figure this out? Like, every other league in the world has figured this out. It's like you got to do what's necessary to get you through it. I mean, it's simple. Like, I know the NHL, all those teams that are in the playoffs, they've all sure that everybody is vaccinated. Hello? Like, go out, get your damn team vaccinated, and move on. So the funny thing is, because now it's available to everybody.
Hold on. All the Yankees were vaccinated.
Well, that's a sloppy mess then. Like,
right? And if you think about it, seven of the coaching staff, Gleyber Torres is the only player so far. I mean, the good news is, from what I'm hearing, all the cases or most of the cases, they're asymptomatic. So it's just baffling to me, though, that baseball hasn't been able to figure out how to make sure that these players stay safe, whereas all these other leagues, as you talked about, don't seem to have the same problem.
And the sad part is the players have more power in baseball, and yet they're having more difficulties with this. Like, I don't get it. Like, is it just the players being irresponsible and doing how they feel like it because they're baseball players and they can do what they want? I mean, is that what we're talking about here? Because
I wish we had the answer, because it's baffling.
I do too.
Fernando Tatis was one of the superstars, the young superstars in the league. I mean, he tested positive. I mean, that's 2 weeks now, besides the injury that he already had that cost him a few weeks. So, that nice, huge contract's paying off for the San Diego Padres.
Yeah, and if it is just negligence on the player's part, then you got to start wondering, what's the makeup of these players, long term. Because if they can't just think about, their season, their team, their fans, then if they're going to be so careless and just go and do as they please, then you could have bigger problems brewing.
Yeah, and this way I think Major League Baseball has to step in, some kind of fining system, suspensions. Again, as a Yankee fan, I'm even saying, like, how does 7 coaching staff members get infected like that? It just doesn't make sense to me. But
no,
we'll have to see. We'll have to see if Major League Baseball decides to do anything with it.
Yeah, I wonder if this is going to affect the Yankees and their sudden rise now. They're only a game behind the Red Sox. So, I mean, how is this going to affect them? And they got a series coming up against Boston coming soon. So we'll see. I mean, I don't want the Red Sox players to be around the Yankees right now for both reasons, because they're playing better.
Yes.
And the COVID.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens. Again, I mean, the good part is we have to be symptomatic. So again, from a health standpoint, at least most of these players, coaches, they should be okay. It's just something that I think Major League Baseball should revisit at some point. Just to say we cover every sport. We're going to talk some horse racing.
Yeah, how about this news, huh?
Right. So Medina Spirit tested positive for a banned substance after winning the Kentucky Derby. Trainer Bob Baffert has had several horses with a similar issue in his long tenure in horse racing. Should he be banned from horse racing permanently?
Probably. I mean, it's like if you're a consistent, abuser of it, then yeah. I mean, it's no different than, a player in baseball or any sport. Like, you get chances. Okay, you get a suspension, then you get a year suspension, and then you're gone, right? So 3 strikes, you're out. So if you've had 3 horses test positive, then you should be out.
All right. So
period.
I'm gonna throw out some numbers at you here, and I think you're gonna probably say, so this. We all know who Josh Gordon is, and how many suspensions he's had, and how many. So in a 44-year career, Bob Baffert's had 30 violations.
Oh my God. Are you
30.
serious? That many?
30.
Damn. He should be out.
Somehow, you know why he continues to go? 16 Triple Crown winners, 17 Breeders' Cup winners. His horses, I don't know if it's because it's fixed, but his horses win. So because he continues to win, and you're talking millions of dollars, these continue to, utilize him as one of these guys to train these horses.
Like I can just picture his horses all huddled in the corner of a barn somewhere, injecting themselves with needles. It's like, oh my God, I need this. Come on, give me one more. Give me another hit.
So if
it's just terrible. 30. If you have 30 violations, you should be gone. It should not even be a question.
I don't even understand how he's lasted this long after that many violations.
Like, but how many did he get away with?
Yeah, exactly. These are. And so Medina Spirit is racing in the Preakness Stakes this Saturday, second leg of the Triple Crown. Has tested and come back with so far no positives, so that's always good. Bob Baffert is already saying he won't be there because he doesn't want the distraction. I think that's better off that he's not there.
Yeah. It's just a bad look for horse racing. Like, people already assume half of it is rigged anyway. So then you throw in doping the horses. I mean, like who?
And this is
your right mind is going to bet on
top trainer. So this is the guy. This is the guy too. This isn't like it's just some average trainer. This is the guy that consistently has.
It's kind of similar when Manny. It's like when Manny Ramirez got caught. It's bad. It's bad. There's nothing good about it. And baseball took a hit. When Barry Bonds, Clemens, even if they didn't technically get caught, they got caught. I mean, they were caught. They did it. I mean, this clearly was widespread, and it's a bad look. And now horse racing is going to go through this, and this could decimate the sport because it's already tough enough, to get the coverage.
It's early, and I know predictions aren't up yet, but I would say this: if you are betting on horse racing, I would probably bet on Bob Baffert's horse that he's trained, because there's probably something in the water that he gave the horse that helps them win races. So I mean, we're giving you an edge up,
but it's
already.
50-50 on whether it's going to get taken away. Just saying.
What time is it, Ron? What time is it?
Oh, yeah. I've been waiting for this one all day long.
This is the one. The pick
This
and
is a great one.
roll, baby.
Pick and roll.
So what we are doing today, basically, we're picking them. We roll with it however we pick it. We're ranking these all-time retired players who wore number 13. To celebrate our 13th show, these players wore the number 13. Wilt Chamberlain, Roberto Clemente, Steve Nash, Dan Marino, Kurt Warner, and Alex Rodriguez. So we got 6 players here. Ron, I went first
Why
last
isn't
week.
Ken Linsman in this? The Rat.
Oh, boy. Already. It's fixed already. You see? It's already fixed.
All right. Okay, so this should not surprise you, Eric, at all. Number 6, I have Alex Rodriguez. Basically because none of his stats matters to me. Because I don't know what's real and what isn't. So I put him square at number 6. I'm not even going to give his stats because I don't care. So he's number 6 for me.
Okay.
That felt good, to be honest with you. That felt really good. Number 5, I have Steve Nash. And it was close. It was close between him and number 4. But no championships. 2 MVPs.
Yeah.
8-time All-Star, which actually surprised me.
Yes.
Of course, no scoring titles. He's more of an assist man, which he's led the league in assists. So, I mean, there's that. So he's like probably, to me, second to Stockton.
Wow.
Maybe a little better than Stockton, but
wow.
Yeah. So I put him at number 5.
Okay.
Number 4, Kurt Warner. 1 championship, two-time MVP, which is actually pretty impressive, and that's not in, the Canadian Football League. That is actual NFL. 4-time All-Star. He never led the league in passing yards, which was surprising to me.
With that St. Louis team, you would have thought, right?
Oh, it was great. Yeah, I would have thought that, and it turned out no. And that's why I put Dan Marino at number 3, even though he didn't have the championship, which is what my measuring stick was based on. But
yeah,
he had an MVP, but 9-time Pro Bowler and 5-time passing yards leader. Like, that was Dan. I mean, Dan, I watched him many times where you think that he's going to get sacked and all of a sudden he just slips to the left or the right, 1 step, and they completely miss. So, by the eyeball test, he's definitely better than Kurt Warner anyway. Just didn't win a championship. Sorry, Dan.
Yeah.
Then it was not even close for the next 2. Like, the next 2 were so far better than the others. It wasn't even a question on, who was going to be in my top 2. But I put Roberto Clemente at number 2. He's a 2-time champ, 1 MVP, 15-time All-Star, and he won 4 batting titles. That is incredible. And
he did.
We have done more. Like, really. Number 1, I have Wilt. Like, when you look at his numbers, it's just insane. Like, he won 2 championships, 4 MVPs, like 4, 13-time All-Star, and 7 scoring titles. Like, that's better than everybody. Like, there's no comparison really. Like once I looked at the numbers, I knew he was number one.
Outstanding list. I'm going to tell you right now that if we moved one player somewhere else, our list is exactly identical, which is pretty scary that we looked at it but basically the same way. So
you have A-Rod higher.
Dan is correct. Clemente 21, but for 6 weeks he won number 13 before he went to 21. That's why he got thrown in. So Dan Clemente was number 21, but for 6 weeks he started off his career. He was number 13. So
and plus you had to put somebody in there that could compete with Wilt.
So I had Steve Nash at 6. Again, no titles. You said the numbers. I mean, overall, not too impressed. 14 points a game, 8.5 assists. Nothing that stood out. That I mean, he was a good player. I wouldn't put him ahead of some of the other point guards. On that, Kurt Warner at number 5, 67 and 49 lifetime, 32,000 over 32,000 yards, 208 touchdowns. Again, 4-time Pro Bowler, 2 times. So again, had Dan Marino at number 4. And again, I think I judged it on the titles. 93 losses, 61,000 yards passing, 420, 9-time Pro Bowler. I mean, he put up some numbers. He put up never get his team to win a championship. I think he only went to so as great as he was as a passer, he just had the up there.
Yeah.
Clemente, I had at number 3, and the only 3 was because I held the number 13 long enough for me to put him at number 2. I just felt like I had to knock him.
I slipped that one in.
So again, I had 317 lifetime, 240 home runs. You talked about the 15 All-Stars, 4 batting titles, but he was the first Caribbean Hall of Famer. So I think what he did for the sport and bringing in forefront of Major League Baseball, even though he was 21, he started at 13. I'm going to give him that. I had A-Rod at 2 and not be Homer. Disagree with you on the stat piece because, again, until somebody actually says that the entire league wasn't cheating, because I still believe 75% of the league was during those times. 696. You legitimately say he's one of the best home run hitters of all time. 14-time All-Star, time league, and he won a batting title, and he won a championship. Again, I mean, I can't do it. I gave you Wilt number 1. I mean, if you look.
So basically, you had the order as me. You had the same order as me, except you moved A-Rod all the way up to 2.
Yes. So if I put,
and if all his stats were legit, then I would have put him there as well.
So,
just saying.
So we had to. I think we basically had the same line. You not say he was the best, number 30 points a game, 22, almost 23 rebounds. He is the second all-time leader in points per game, behind Michael Jordan and its 6 points. The all-time leader in rebounds at 23,000 rebounds all time.
And when there's that,
almost 24,000 rebounds. The man was a game. And don't read his book because there's a lot more women than 100.
Yeah, a lot more.
That was our pick and roll. Let us know.
It was obvious.
If you're joining us, we're on Rhode Island Broadcasting. We're on every Friday night at Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Social media at Sports Unfolded on Facebook and Twitter. If you want to follow Twitter for Rhode Island Broadcast, Instagram, you can follow us at Sports on Podcast and Anchor. So as well, you can listen to us in your car.
Yes, please do.
It's face-off time, Ron.
Like you should
Face-off
always be
time.
listening. Face off.
So, on October 10th, Bill Belichick and Tom Brady will face off for the first time. Who's coming out victorious? One of us has to be for Tom. One of us has to be for Bill. I'll let you pick.
Why
To
don't
go
we
either
let
way on
Dan
this.
pick. Dan, pick
Dan, who
for
would
us.
you like to see us argue? Who should argue for Tom Brady, and who should argue for Bill Belichick? Let's see. Is
Come
Dan
on,
still
Dan.
with?
Yeah. Did you see what he said though?
Yes, he washed his jersey. He used too much bleach and it won. That's what we're
Oh, that's what it
So
is.
now- Yeah, so Babe
Yeah.
Ruth would have been 13. Yeah, it's
So
cute.
I don't know. You can pick, Eric.
I'll vote for
Go ahead,
Bill.
pick. What am I?
'Cause he's a Patriot. You're for Tom.
Wait, you're picking. I'm going for Tom or you?
Yeah.
Me?
You are.
So I get Tom. Okay.
You're for Tom.
Okay.
I am for Bill Belichick. Yeah. All right. Let me get this clock. Don't have the Sports Unfolded ticker right now. Whenever you're ready.
I am ready.
Go.
Okay. So, all right. So Tom Brady, we know he's won how many Super Bowls? 7. Belichick won 6 as a coach. But do we even know whose quarterback is going to be? So the argument really starts there, not knowing who his quarterback really is going to be by then. Could be Mac, could be Cam, who knows? If you don't know, then you've lost already to Tom. I mean, that's the way I look at it. Tom is the GOAT, and until he gets told by somebody, he's really the one that's going to come out on top. And right now, I don't know if Bill has a quarterback to do that. So that's that. That's all I need. He doesn't have a quarterback.
Nope, time. You got it. All right. All right, and I'm for Bill Belichick and pointing to Bill here. All right, you ready? I look at it this way. Bill Belichick has more to prove this season than Tom Brady. And because of the fact that Tom Brady won the Super Bowl, because Bill Belichick is sticking with Cam Newton, because the team didn't make the playoffs last season, if you look at all the factors of why Bill Belichick would want to win this game more than Tom Brady, because of those things that people are saying about Tom. So if Tom come in here and beat Bill Belichick, basically that argument's over of who won those championships. It's done. There is versus Bill and which one won those championships. Tom comes in and wins. It's Tom Brady. Bill Belichick knows this. Bill Belichick has to show and prove a point that he is the better leader and can basically coach any team to be. If he doesn't do that, his legacy takes a huge hit, and that would cost him. Bill Belichick needs this game.
See, wanting
Time
is more than what the action is. Unfortunately, it doesn't mean that he doesn't want it.
You brought it up,
but
so
I'm just saying.
Built up this defense. You got weapons.
Right.
I can't see that he wasn't doing this for a reason. He knows he needs to win. That game.
Yeah, he knew he was going to be playing them this
3-4 times on that calendar.
Yeah, he knew he was going to play them.
Yeah. Because we've talked.
Yeah, and that's what he did. But he didn't go out and
Gilmore. He didn't trade some of those key players that he could have. He wants to keep this team and make sure that he's got a shot to beat Tom Brady.
Oh, I know
on
he
October
does.
10th.
Oh, I know that. But wanting it doesn't make it happen.
And if you don't even waste your time, I checked. You could get parking.
Yeah, good luck.
Parking lot tickets are a 11 parking lot, not in the stadium now, because those are already gone. They should race their new boats. I agree with Dan. Who won that debate? I'm telling you right now, it's Bill. It's got to be Bill. Bill needs it more. Tom don't need to win that. Tom already got his other ring without Bill.
Are you kidding? Tom wants to bury the Patriots right now. He wants to bury them.
Yeah.
So
who's winning it? Dan's going to pick who's winning that game.
I mean, it's obvious.
The Patriots.
Until you know who's going to be quarterback in week 4, you gotta go with Tom.
Newton. It's Cam Newton.
Sorry.
Cam's our quarterback.
It's not. He could lose, and I'm not sure it's going to be. I'm not sure it's going to be Cam Newton in game 1 anyway. Not sure.
Wow. I have to play this game.
See, he can't make a decision either.
He can't.
He's probably a friend of yours, and he wants to go with you, but he knows that I'm right.
Is that what? How about predictions?
Okay.
On May 15th,
I think I just lost your sound.
All right. May 15th, Heat at Bucks. Did you pick that up?
Heat at Bucks. This is in a couple of days.
Yeah.
When do the playoffs start?
Ron wins.
In a week and a half?
Yeah.
See, I told you.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Bucks. I think they want to go into this, and I think the Heat are now at a point where they know where they're gonna be. So I think the Bucks are gonna win this one.
The 6th seed. The Celtics made sure of that by losing 2 straight to them.
Yeah. The Heat got all kinds of help.
I'm gonna agree with you on the Bucks.
They got help from the Celtics.
Yeah. Bucks, Giannis is now, he's on a mission to prove that he's one of the players in the league. I think he wants to try to win a championship.
Yeah.
If healthy, I think Milwaukee's the team to beat. Even with Philadelphia, I just feel like the Philadelphia 76 always find a way to blow it in the playoffs.
Well, I mean, you got this kid in Milwaukee that's got something to say about it, so...
On 16th, the Grizzlies at the Warriors. Grizzlies. This is a possible playoff on that playing tournament.
Yeah, going Warriors all the way. Steph knows what this means, and he, like I said, he's going to drop 30 every game until the playoffs start. Like, I'm just going to will the ball into the hoop.
2 games left.
He's a winner.
Yeah, and I think the Warriors, they, again, to your point, they have to win this game. Just I'd love to pick for experience and understanding that going into the playoffs, you're going to want to see that. Maybe on 5/16, got the Cardinals at the Padres. That's the Sunday night game.
Now, is this the series that we're doing? Is this a 3-game series?
No, we'll do the 1 game. It's the Sunday night game.
All right, I'll go Padres. Like, even though Tatis is out, I'm still gonna go Padres.
All right, I'm going Cardinals for that same reason. I just think that the Cardinals. So last week you won 2-1. So you're back-to-back wins. Good job.
Yeah, you like that, huh?
See if you come through this week.
It's all up to the Padres and Cards.
That's it. It's one game. Besides it next.
You want to do the Caps first game?
You want to
Caps
predict
and Bruins first game?
We could do that.
Jimmy,
But yeah, because it's
sure.
Saturday. I'm at home.
I'm going Bees. There you go. So now we have a couple of games that we can try to pick up.
Do you want to predict the series?
The Bees look good.
So 1-6.
What was that?
Can the Bees?
Yes. I think they can do it earlier, but Washington
Wow.
isn't a slouch, so
they'll
that's
do
it at home.
That's our show for tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to tune in next week, we're going to obviously have the NBA playoff predictions and who's going to win. Our pick and roll will be the top sports team rivalries of all time and how we're going to rate those. If you're joining us, we're on Rhode Island Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. At Sports Unfolded on Facebook and Twitter. At Broadcast. Instagram, Sports_Unfolded. And now podcasts on Spotify and Anchor. Just search for Rhode Island Broadcasting and we come up. So excited. Another media there outlet for all our fans. Again, great show. If you haven't watched us before, basically what we do is our final thought can be on anything. Doesn't necessarily have to be sports related. It could be anything that's going on in the world. Final thought.
Well, my final thought today has nothing to do with sports. And that's unusual for me to do this, but there was I guess another mass shooting is what they're labeling it as, even though it was more gang related than anything. But 9 people got shot in Providence today or yesterday. And it was just one group of people hated another group of people, and they had a shootout right in the street. Like, can we stop this now? It's just getting ridiculous. If you're out there, if you have a problem with someone, why do you feel the need to use a weapon? Just do what everybody else does. Shame them on Facebook or any kind of social media, Twitter. Do it that way. At least nobody's getting killed over it. Just calm down. And summer is yet to begin, and that's where it gets worse. And it's already. So everybody needs to just chill, enjoy some sports, enjoy some music, or whatever else you like. Watch one of the movies here on Rhode Island Broadcasting. Just chill. Get along. Deal with the way. Shame them on Facebook.
No, yeah, it's unfortunate tragedies. Yeah, we wish all those families, obviously, there's some kind of, strength through all of this as well, because there's people that they don't see behind the scenes that actually get hurt as well. So my final thought is on former University of Hawaii. He died at the age of 37. He had broken all types of records at Hawaii when he was there. Actually finished third in the Heisman Trophy in 2007. Ended up, eventually costing him his life to a rehab center. They didn't have enough space for him to remain, and they released him without the family knowing, and he ended up taking something that ending his life. It's part of what I've always said is that sports isn't always just about, some of the losses and some of the ways that people, it affects things. He obviously had struggles, but addiction's a real thing. And if you have addictions, get help. before it turns and come back from. And that's what happened with Colt. So again, I wish his family well. Just a sad tragedy at only 37 years old. Still had a lot of life left in him. But that was my final thought. Want to thank you all for, we had some live views. Want to thank Dan for chiming in. Appreciate all the feedback. Ron, as always, appreciate the time. And the fans out there, have a great night.
Oh, Joshy gets it right at the last minute.